When people Google, is Cape Coral a good place to live? They're really looking for one thing, and that is reassurance. And I'll tell you this, Cape Coral isn't perfect. I don't think any place in the world could be, but there are some very real reasons that people move here and ultimately end up falling in love and staying. So instead of creating a hype video about Cape Coral, which we absolutely could do because we live here, we know it, and we absolutely love it, we are going to walk through some of the actual practical advantages and the things that truly make it feel unlike anywhere else. So when people start looking at Cape Coral, they're usually going to find us for one reason, and that is waterfront access.
Waterfront, waterfront, waterfront. That's what they look for.
And that makes sense because it literally is foundational to Cape Coral.
Absolutely. That's the first thing they dug out.
It's what the city was built
Yep.
around. And one thing I don't think people realize or maybe understand when they're just looking at a map is like the expansiveness
Oh,
of
yeah.
it. We have 400
It's
miles
huge.
of canals in
Yeah.
Cape Coral, which if you're thinking about canals, you're usually thinking about
Venice.
Venice, Italy, and we have substantially
Yeah.
more miles of canals
Yeah.
than they
The
do.
only thing that we don't have is a funny little Italian guy on a gondola, singing to all the lovers. And
I mean, we've got all the boaters that go in and out. And I mean, you're singing on the boat when we come in from a boating
oh,
day.
great.
And I think one thing that's really attractive is it's not exclusive like it is in other cities where you can only get it really right along the coastline.
Right.
It's integrated into the entire city. You drive, 1 mile north
Yeah.
into Cape Coral and you're still looking at waterfront
No,
homes.
absolutely. If you think about like ski and ski out places in the mountains, it's like a boat in boat out place here in Southwest Florida. So,
Yeah. And even if you're not, even if you're not looking for Gulf access, which some people
right.
aren't, they don't need to take their boat out to the Gulf. There's still so many freshwater canals that are
Correct.
all interconnected where people can still enjoy the water,
Yeah.
kayaking, paddleboarding,
Yeah.
and even when they're inland.
No, that's absolutely true. A lot of buyers, statewide, look for properties that have waterfront feature, and out here you can get it whether you're a boater or not. You can still enjoy the sunrises or the sunsets that are right on the water, like you said. The freshwater canals are pretty expensive as well.
Yeah, we have many more options
Hmm.
when it comes to waterfront living
Hmm.
than other cities in Florida. And that's because a high portion of or a higher portion than other areas have that waterfront access where, when you're talking Miami or Tampa, it's a premium luxury.
Right.
It's almost out of reach for most people.
Yeah, and I mean there is a premium side along the coastline here in Cape. The properties that are alongside the river and things of that nature. Yes, but the second you start moving in, you're talking half the price of what you might find up in Clearwater or Naples or Miami.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
And that brings me to my second point. They look at it and they're like, "Ooh, exactly what I did. Ooh, I can put a boat in my backyard." And then they start looking at
That got me down here so fast. I can't even.
but then they start looking at the price point.
Yeah,
And it is more affordable than most areas.
absolutely.
I remember when we were considering moving down here, we made a trip down. We flew in through Tampa,
Mhm.
drove down, and on our way down, we stopped in St. Pete, stopped at this tiny little beach bar or whatever, and
It
we're
was so
having
awesome.
we're having a drink, and the guy asked us what we're doing down there, and we're like, "Whoa, we're thinking about moving to Cape Coral," and he said it's the last affordable place that you can live on the water in Florida.
Mhm.
Here's the thing. While I don't know if that is statistically factual, I'm gonna put some money on that
I'm taking that
because
all the way to the bank.
yeah, it is in comparison to what we've seen, and we have sold throughout Florida.
Yeah, yeah,
We've sold
absolutely.
in areas that are not Cape Coral. We've sold further down in Naples. We've sold up in Tampa,
Mhm.
and we've looked at things in Miami
Mhm.
and
In Orlando.
Orlando.
Yep.
So I think that we've got a pretty good grasp on
Mhm.
Florida and the fact that you can live waterfront and it's achievable
Mhm.
is just the one of the reasons people pick us.
Absolutely.
And when you're looking at price point and what things are affordable, the first thing you're going to Google is going to be what is the average price point in that area. I always think that's really hard to determine when you're looking at Florida specifically
Mm.
because something on the water is going to be extremely differently priced than something off the water. Our midpoint is around, the mid 300s. That's our average price point.
Cape Coral as a whole.
Cape Coral as a whole. But waterfront properties specifically, sure. Could you go and buy a premium property, premium luxury property for $3-4 million on the water in Cape Coral?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But you can still live on the water and have Gulf access for in the fours,
Mid fours.
500.
Mhm.
And even then, you can go a little bit further. You don't need that Gulf access, but you still want the waterfront. You can be getting in the threes and still be waterfront.
Absolutely.
Where else can you find that?
I don't know.
I truly don't know.
I don't know, and I'm not gonna go look because I found it. It's here. And the nice thing is, I mean, even if you don't want to live on the water, which there are extra expenses that sometimes come along with that, seawall maintenance or whatever. If you don't want to live on the water, that's fine. Get one, you can get a house that's off the water and minutes drive to a boat ramp or to a place where you can, drop in your stand-up paddleboard or your kayak or
Or go
whatever.
fishing.
Or go fishing. Oh my gosh, you can fish from everywhere out here.
Everywhere. So
yeah.
even if you're not wanting waterfront, it's still extremely affordable, and you can have those benefits.
And not shovel snow.
Exactly. Can you tell that he hates shoveling snow, or hated shoveling snow? And I think one of the reasons that it is affordable is because we still have so much growth.
Yes.
Whereas, Tampa, Miami, places like that, they're running out of space. Or down in Naples, you're looking at new construction and it's 20 minutes from the coastline. We have a lot of growth left in this area. I actually pulled the statistics the other day, and I was actually shocked about this because I would have assumed we were more built out than we are. 48%.
Yeah.
48% developed. I mean, and this was planned. This is they expect to
From the
ultimately
beginning. Yeah.
have 400,000
Correct.
people. We're 48% built out.
Yeah.
That's a lot of growth to happen.
And we're not going up to get it done like Miami is, right? Miami's knocking down places and building skyscrapers. We're not doing that.
No.
We have plenty of room to go, north. That's been allotted for residential construction. And we have, like you said, 48%. I mean, that's, 52% to go to build.
Yeah.
So,
And down here, if you're not familiar with Cape Coral and kind of the build out of it, it started in Southeast, like the yacht club area, and then kind of moved southwest, and now we're moving north. So down in Southeast and Southwest, there's still lots available. There's still construction happening. But the further you go north, the more land you're going to see, and the more construction you're going to see, because we're moving up.
And a lot of newer built homes.
A lot of newer built
into
homes
for incredibly affordable prices. That were built within the last 5-6 years, right? So,
and it's not just, we're focusing a lot on, when we're having this conversation, growth in terms of numbers, but it's not just growth in terms of numbers. It's not just growth in terms of housing and population. It's growth in amenities as well.
Oh yeah. Well, thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
I'm enjoying, we're one Chipotle town, which for
We
right
are.
now is okay. But
Actually, technically, there's one off Pine Island as well, but that's
whatever. But we are getting new amenities. We're getting great new restaurants and things of that nature. So we're feeling like a bigger town, but we're keeping that small town feel.
Yeah. And I think some of, the amenities that we're getting, of course, there's like Covent 47th, which brought apartments, but it also brought new restaurants. We're having Bimini Square come in. And this is just in South Cape Coral, and I'm focusing on that. We're having that come in. That's restaurants, getting a new waterfront restaurant. They even put
a boat in, boat out restaurant, which is going to be really cool.
And they put a Lee Health Center there, which is nice, so that you don't have to drive further north, especially with the population increasing. They're working on the yacht club, which I'm super excited about. I think that's, new yacht basin. Boathouse is being rebuilt, new community center, resort style pool,
Get our
right?
Fishing Pier back.
Fishing Pier back. That is going to be such a draw for residents and tourists alike, I think. And then, of course, we've got several other projects up north along the Pine Island corridor, Seven Islands, those kind of things that are bringing the same same type.
Yeah, exactly, and giving people access to more amenities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that in and of itself, people are looking at that and they're like, there's so much more growth potential, meaning there's so much more value
Mhm,
potential. So
mhm.
people coming in wondering, is it a good investment? And when I say investment, I'm not just talking about your investment properties, Airbnb or rentals. I'm talking about investment of personal finances into your next move, your family home.
Right.
I think there is a lot of long-term value here. And I think that's a reason people are making that choice.
I agree with you completely.
And then you mentioned it, and I think it deserves to be focused on is we are a big city. We are a big city. We're the
There's
largest
no
in
2 ways about it.
no, we're
Yeah.
the largest in Southwest Florida. But we have that small town feel.
Mhm.
We really do. We're talking about the growth upwards that we're not seeing. I think they've done a great job with that where we're getting the growth, but the buildings are remaining smaller,
Yeah.
which keep that feel small.
Mhm.
And ultimately, it gives us the best of both worlds. Small town feel in the big city.
Absolutely. You can still walk around and get into your, favorite restaurants and be recognized by first name, things of that nature, which, to be honest, we really didn't even have in Colorado,
No.
and here we have it.
Yeah, we
It's
walk
amazing.
we walk into back streets
Mhm.
and everybody knows us. All of our friends are there. Michael's got our Coors Lights ready. Thank you, Michael. We love you. Um, it's almost like that Cheers type
Yeah.
feel, but we're not missing anything. It's not like we live in a one horse town where I mean our downtown is one street. It's one street
Blink and you'll miss it.
exactly, but let's be honest, we're not missing any of the big things.
No.
We've got grocery stores, we've got Target, we've got Walmart, we've got your takeout, we've got plenty of
Mhm.
restaurants, movie theater, all of the things that you want access to. We're not missing any of those.
No.
We're not a little town in Kansas that has a gas station and a McDonald's. Like we have everything,
Right.
but it still feels small.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is we can have that small town because also right over the bridge we have access to world-class everything.
Everything. I mean, Sarasota is a drive away, which world-class beach, right? Fort Myers, Naples, Vanderbilt, that area. Marco Island is a short drive away. You literally have access to everything that people save up all year to come on vacation to for a week.
Yeah, so you've got you come here, you've got the lower cost of living, that small town feel, but you're not trading that you're not trading the big city to get that.
Right.
You get both. You can enjoy that on the weekend, come back, still enjoy,
Mhm.
small town, less traffic. I mean, if you're on the Facebook groups, they're probably going to yell at me and say like, "It's terrible traffic." You have never lived in a big city, in a metropolitan city. It's
Or
nice.
maybe you haven't you forgotten what it was like.
Yeah.
It's not that way.
No, I mean, I'll be honest, my entire mindset on it has switched because I remember you go downtown Denver from where we used to live, you're in traffic for an hour and a half,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Me, I get upset when it takes me 15 minutes versus 12 minutes to get to Target. And,
Yep.
let's just be perfectly honest. I'm like, traffic was terrible. It took me 15 minutes. But that's the whole point of the small town feel. And I love that. We get the best of both
I
worlds.
agree.
So people begin to look at Cape Coral because we've got that waterfront access. They get maybe a little bit more intrigued because it seems affordable, right?
Mhm.
Plus, they've got the benefit of the growth that's happening. They can invest well down here or invest wisely
Mhm.
down here. And then they don't have to miss out on anything. They kind of get to keep that small town feel. But they've got access to everything. But let's be honest, nothing. Those are all great, but nothing beats the lifestyle.
Nothing beats the lifestyle and the fact that life does run a little slower down here.
Absolutely.
A lot of my buyers that I've worked with that are families that have small children and things of that nature that they experience a very hectic lifestyle up north with, kids being in dance or in sports or whatever. Nobody's ever seeing each other. They come down here and life slows down for them. They have intentional time with their kids. They're making memories. They're out on a boat all day. Everybody has their phones up. We're out of the beach or whatever. It's either that or it's, families buying a property together so that they can spend intentional time with grandparents and cousins and all that kind of fun
Yeah.
stuff. So
And everything, I wouldn't go as far to say island time because I don't think we're that slow. We're like a notch above island
a
time,
notch above Jimmy Buffett.
but everything slows down. It's
Yeah.
less hectic. It's less
Mhm.
stressful. People in it, like I do feel like people enjoy our city more than some other places because of that.
Mhm.
And it does help that we have a very temperate climate here. Nice weather throughout the year. I mean, I will be perfectly frank, there are 2 weeks a year that we're gonna experience some pretty bad weather.
Yeah.
You get one in, like, January, it's gonna be cold. It's in the 30s, you just wear hoodies, bundle up, you'll be fine. And then we get the opposite of that in, like, July or August when it reaches over 100 and you're miserable, but then you just go in the
You jump in
pool.
the pool.
You jump in
Don't
the
feel too
pool.
bad for us. We get cold under 79 degrees. So, I mean, it's just it's what it is.
But it allows you to enjoy. I know back in Colorado boating, you had pretty much June through August. You had
Mhm.
3 months,
Mhm.
if that, and then you're winterizing your boat again.
Mhm.
Out here, you keep it in your backyard, and a lot of people are out every weekend.
There's nothing better
They'll
than that.
they'll even in February when it's cold outside, they're out fishing,
Mhm.
right? We enjoy the outdoors so much more out
Absolutely.
here.
One of my favorite things is, on a weekend hanging out in the pool, if we don't go on the boat, but hanging out in the pool with our kids and having a beer in hand, and then seeing some of our neighbors go by on their boat and they have their music up and everybody's happy and we're all cheersing and all that kind of stuff. It's just an awesome feeling of community and everybody's just enjoying life.
And it's not just the weekends either. Like, some of our neighbors come home and we'll see them at 5 o'clock just heading out on their jet ski,
Mhm.
just a little end of the day ride,
Yep.
or they'll be
Catch
out
that
on
sunset on the water.
their kayak or their paddleboard. I know our son, he didn't even he had never caught a fish in his life when we moved down here. I don't think he knew how to bait a line
Yeah.
or anything like
No.
that. And now he's out almost every day after school fishing in the backyard.
Yeah, he's a
Like,
master angler.
that where else can you have that
Mm.
lifestyle? Like, it's so rare to
Yeah,
find.
yeah. I agree.
So is Cape Coral a good place to live? If you're looking for waterfront property, you don't want to spend a fortune, kind of looking for the best of both worlds, invest in a place that, is still growing and may make you money. And you're really looking for that I kind of live where people vacation type lifestyle, then heck yes, Cape Coral is absolutely the place to be. You've got water, you've got the space, you've got a slower pace, and it truly is unlike anything else in this world. And I think with Cape Coral, that is entirely the whole point. So, if you're curious if Cape Coral is right for you, we would love to have a conversation with you. Talk a little bit more about your needs and what you're looking for in home and help you find your slice of paradise.